Travel situation now, and the cancellations keep coming at Harry Reid International. Roughly hundreds of flights are scrapped, most of them Southwest Airlines again today. Fox 5's Jacqueline Schultz has more on the stranded travelers now looking for other ways to get home.
Yeah, take a look at this video that a viewer sent us. They were trying to rent a car out of Colorado to drive back to Vegas, but look at that line. A lot of places have run out of rentals. If there's no more cars or you can't get a flight, what do? You get creative, pay for a ride, or even hitch a ride.
Got a rental truck. I said something to the flight attendant. I have 4 spots. As long as they're not a serial killer, they are welcome to ride with me.
Sylvia Kadlabowski had her flight from Phoenix Sky Harbor to Vegas canceled. So she rented a truck and said to strangers, come along too. With no flights and cars running out, people are going out of their way to help strangers or getting creative.
And it seemed kind of selfish to go all the way to Vegas with just driving. 2 of the ladies went with me. No obligation. You don't have to give me anything. I'm already going to Vegas.
I saw all these people stranded. I'm just like, you know what? Anybody stranded here in Vegas, I'm happy to get you somewhere.
Musician and gig worker Izzy Presley posting on Twitter and Facebook. He's free to give a ride. A friend of a friend messaged him.
Going to Phoenix. If somebody's like, hey, I'm going to give you $300 to drive me to Phoenix, one, covers my gas, covers my time, and I get to have Waffle House, and I get to help somebody out.
Other people stuck are trying to get an Uber or a Lyft. Local drivers tell me they've gotten requests to drive to California and Arizona, but say the net profit wouldn't be worth it. At least one told me they did do a ride under the table. Many stranded at Harry Reid decided to wait it out.
Families are bewildered. They wanted to leave. They can't leave. And I've had a lot of people asking me for advice on where to go.
Uber and Lyft drivers like Jeffrey Lustig are helping ease travelers' unexpected extended Vegas vacation with some local hospitality.
I've been recommending going out to the Hoover Dam. I've been recommending going out to the Red Rock Canyon. It's almost become like a tour guide. And so I just try to make it as positive as I can.
Airport officials tell me, unlike other airports across the country, Harry Reid is very close to hotels and restaurants. That's why people here are just getting a ride out to town rather than sleeping at the airport.